Part 8. I made a fortune by raiding houses in ancient times. Author, Half-Life Calligraphy. Chapter 71. Just when Ling Chu wanted to take a closer look at Lu Chengliu's face, he saw a student hurriedly walking from the academy and said in a loud voice, Brother Lu, Master Chu wants to see you for something." Lu Chengliu heard that his master wanted to see him, so he thanked his classmates who came to convey the message, then turned and walked back to the academy. Ning Chui looked away and asked Ling Chu, "What's the problem with Lu Chengliu?" Ling Chu kept staring at Lu Chengliu's back until he couldn't see it anymore, then he looked away. Hearing Ning Chui's question, he hesitated for a while, frowned and said, "There are two auras on Lu Chengliu that seem to repel each other, causing his appearance to be a little inconsistent. Unfortunately, I only took a quick look and didn't have time to observe more." Ning Chui didn't understand these mysterious things, and he didn't see anything wrong. In his eyes, Lu Chengliu was just like most students, there was no difference. "The academy, can I go in?" Ning Chui shook his head. "The academy is not open to the public, and outsiders are not allowed to enter. Although he is the commander of the Jinyi guards, it is not easy to break in without any reason. If the censor's office had known about it, the emperor's records would have been piled high with his information." Ling Chu also guessed that he couldn't go in casually. "Forget it, didn't you find out where Lu Chengliu lives?" "I'll find a way to see where he lives another day." "Okay, if there is any problem that cannot be solved, you can ask Prince Jing for help. After all, this matter is related to him, and he will not ignore it." Ning Chui still had something to do, so he explained a few words and left in a hurry. Ling Chu drank tea slowly in the tea house and ordered some snacks, intending to soothe his stomach. This tea house is close to Changfeng Academy. School is now over, and Ling Chu found that many students came over to drink tea and chat. Just as I picked up the snack and took a bite, I suddenly heard the discussion of several students next to me. "Hey, I heard that Lu Chengliu didn't do well in the exam again and only got a B grade. He used to mostly get first-class grades, but since he broke his head, his grades have been far worse than before. Originally, the master expected him to be the first in high school, but if this continues, there is little hope. I also heard that his hand was injured and his calligraphy is better than before. I'm afraid God is jealous of Yingke." Ling Chu didn't expect that he would also hear the gossip about Lu Chengliu. It's a pity that what these students said is similar to what Jin Yiwei found out. Unable to hear any more information, Ling Chu had no choice but to leave the tea house. The next day, Ling Chu first went to a clothing store and bought 2 Taoist robes, and then went to a bookshop to buy a set of 4 treasures for the study. During the key to the matter of embroidering the moon. Choose a bookstore. After Ling Chu selects what he needs, he plans to go to the front to find the shopkeeper to pay. Unexpectedly, she saw the shopkeeper talking to a man, so she had to stand aside and wait. "Lu Chengliu, your handwriting is good, but our library doesn't need to copy books for the time being. These 20 pieces are the money you paid for copying books this time, so take it." Ling Chu raised his eyebrows. What a coincidence. Finding that Lu Chengliu's back was facing him, Ling Chu simply took the picked things and moved a few steps towards the shopkeeper. But when he saw the man's face clearly, he looked surprised. "This is Lu Chengliu." Even though it was just a quick glance at the academy yesterday, she remembered that the other person's skin tone was not that dark. The more he looked at it, the more strange Ling Chu felt. Lu Chengliu wore a student uniform in the academy, but now he wears a patchwork uniform. There is also Lu Chengliu who was seen at the entrance of the academy. He gave people the temperament of a poor student, but now he has the simplicity of a farming and studying family. What's even more strange is that the aura of disobedience on his body is gone. Ling Chu's brows furrowed tighter and tighter. For some reason, even though they had the same appearance, when she looked at the person in front of her, Why did she feel like they were two different people from the one she saw in the academy? But isn't this too ridiculous? It must be that she didn't see clearly in the academy, which led to this illusion. After all, she was sitting in a tea house at that time, which was still some distance away from the entrance of the academy. She only glanced at it hastily, so it was not surprising that she didn't see it clearly. Probably sensing Ling Chu's appraising gaze, Lu Chengliu suddenly turned his head and looked this way. When he realized it was a girl, he was startled and looked away without daring to look any further. Lu Chengliu looked anxious when he heard that the shopkeeper would not let him continue copying books. "Shopkeeper Chen, can you let me continue copying books? It doesn't matter if the price is lower." Shopkeeper Chen sighed, pointed to the row of bookshelves next to him and said, "It's not about the price. You copied so many books, but I haven't had time to sell them yet. If you continue to copy, I'm afraid my bookstore won't be able to keep them." Lu Chengliu smiled bitterly in his heart when he heard the books on the bookshelf. He didn't expect that this only source of income would not be saved. Maybe seeing the disappointed look on his face, Shopkeeper Chen couldn't bear it. "Well, when the books you copied are sold out, you can copy them again. Don't worry, I will give you the same price." Lu Chengliu knew that Shopkeeper Chen had already helped him a lot. The copied books had not yet been sold, so he really could not continue copying them. Enduring his disappointment, he thanked Shopkeeper Chen, and walked out of the bookstore holding the 20 pieces of literature. Ling Chu frowned and glanced at the back, then stepped forward to pay with his things in his arms. The shopkeeper reached out to take it. Ling Chu pointed to the handwritten book on the counter and said, "Shopkeeper, this book is well copied. I want to buy a copy." The shopkeeper was worried that the books copied by Lu Chengliu would not be sold out, so he was naturally happy to hear that she wanted to buy them. Ling Chu pretended to inquire casually, "The name of the man just now is Lu Chengliu. I think he writes well. Why can't the books he copied be sold? Perhaps this matter has been kept in his heart." Shopkeeper Chen didn't hide it when she asked about it. "Lu Chengliu's handwriting is indeed good, but I can't stop him from copying it day and night. My shop is small, and he copied so much. I can't sell it for a short while. I see that his calligraphy is so good. He must be studying in an academy, right? Isn't he busy with his studies? How can he have time to copy books day and night?" Shopkeeper Chen shook his head and sighed, "I heard that his family was poor and could not afford to pay shuxiu, so he did not go to the academy, but studied hard at home. In order to make a living, he found out that I could copy books here. After I took the job, he copied it day and night." Ling Chu was surprised. Didn't he go to the academy to study? Could it be that Lu Chengliu copied more books to gain sympathy and lied to Shopkeeper Chen? Perhaps seeing the surprise on Ling Chu's face, he was worried that she would regret not letting go of the copied book. Shopkeeper Chen immediately explained. "It turns out that Lu Chengliu was studying at Changfeng Academy. I heard that he often got first-class grades in his studies, and the masters at the academy had high hopes for him. It's a pity that he fell from the mountain and injured his head, so he had to recuperate at home. If he hadn't spent all his family's money on medical treatment, he wouldn't have been unable to pay shuxiu. Then he has no relatives at home, so why can he just copy the books by himself? I heard that he only has a widowed mother who stays in his hometown. Did he fall badly? Are his hands and feet injured?" "That's not true. If his hand was injured, he wouldn't be able to copy so many books." Ling Chu lowered his head, and the words on the handwritten book were strong and powerful, and it really didn't look like they could be written by an injured person. But since he was not injured, why did the students in the academy say that Lu Chengliu injured his hand? Thanks 609,325, 20230601621658, 202303061958333531, 609,325, ZJCRY, 20227 18095924699, YJ, 854 729, Shui Yuehi 201907082259368663, Exquisite Heart. AE, Simple Just Fine. Inseparable from the Skies Luck 937, Once, Eternal Love, 20220908085043919, Joy 792, 20220318191159946. And AMP, GT, and AMP, LT. The Rumbling Sky. 20220704184639510. Asterisk carat. Carat carat O carat asterisk. And other book friends for their strong support. I made a fortune by raiding houses in ancient times. Author, Half-Life Calligraphy. Chapter 72. Chapter 72 Spirit Card. After coming out of the study room, Ling Chu walked absent-mindedly. I am still thinking about Lu Chengliu. According to the information found by Ning Chui and the discussions among the academy students, Lu Chengliu's performance has been far worse than before since he injured his head. But shopkeeper Chen said that although Lu Chengliu injured his head, he had already recovered. He also guided shopkeeper Chen's son to write an article once. Shopkeeper Chen's son also won the first grade for this reason, and was highly praised by the master of the academy. The students at the academy said that Lu Chengliu injured his hand due to a fall, so his handwriting was much worse than before. But while he was outside, he helped shopkeeper Chen copy dozens of books. It is not surprising to say that Lu Chengliu dresses differently in the academy and outside because of his difficult family background. But what Ling Chu didn't understand was why he lied in front of his master and classmates in the academy. His head injury has obviously recovered, and his hands are not injured, but he pretends that his grades have declined due to the injury, and his writing is not as good as before. What good will this do to him? Ling Chu was really puzzled. While she was lost in thought, she was suddenly hit on the shoulder. Ling Chu came to her senses and found an arrogant man standing in front of her, staring at her sternly. "Little girl, where are you going? Do you want to go home with your brother and ask him to take good care of you?" Looking around, I realized that I had walked into an alley without knowing it. Ling Chu looked at the ruffian in front of him coldly. "Good dogs don't block the way, get out of the way." Not only did the man not move away, he even pushed forward and said, "Hey, I didn't expect that. She is a fierce little beauty." Just as Ling Chu was about to raise her foot and kick her over, a man quickly ran over to block her from behind. "Girl, I'll stop him, you run." Why does this voice sound familiar? Ling Chu did not run, but instead walked around him and took 2 steps forward. Looking at the man's face, Ling Chu's face was astonished. No wonder it sounded familiar. This man turned out to be Lu Chengliu. "I advise you to mind your own business, otherwise don't blame me for being rude." The ruffian pulled out a short stick from his body and pointed at Lu Chengliu viciously. Even though he was nervous, Lu Chengliu still stood in front of Ling Chu and whispered, "Girl, leave quickly." Although his voice was low, the ruffian heard it, and with a wave of his hand, he hit him with the stick. Lu Chengliu was afraid, but he didn't hide or dodge. Ling Chu had no choice but to pull him aside. When the stick was swung down, he turned sideways, raised his foot, and quickly kicked the gangster's wrist. The ruffian's wrist hurt, and the stick fell to the ground with a clang. While he was covering his wrist, Ling Chu quickly picked up the short stick and hit him without saying a word. That person didn't expect that she looked so weak, but she struck without mercy. His face changed with fear, and he turned around and ran away quickly. Ling Chu felt regretful and threw away the short stick and thanked Lu Chengliu. "Thank you, Mr. Lu." In his panic just now, Lu Chengliu didn't pay attention to who he was helping. Now that I saw her face clearly, I was surprised to find that she was the girl I met by chance in the bookshop. Hearing Ling Chu thank him, He smiled bitterly and said, "Girl, there is no need to thank you. I didn't help you." He also didn't expect that this girl was so brave and could beat the ruffian away by himself without him taking action. Luchengliu picked up the bundle of firewood he had just thrown down on his back and said to Ling Chu, "Girl, you'd better go home quickly. This alley is relatively remote and not very safe. I don't know if the person just now will come back." Ling Chu frowned and looked at the large bundle of firewood he carried on his back. Luchengliu's home was not close to here, so why did he come all the way here to buy firewood? Seeing that he was still bending down to pick up the rice bag and basket of vegetables that were thrown on the ground, Ling Chu stepped forward and said, "Let me get it for you." In any case, this man just stood up to protect her regardless of his own safety, and his character was not bad. Luchengliu shook his head hurriedly, "No, my house is right in front. I can just take it back myself." "Girl, go home quickly." Ling Chu was surprised. He lived in front? It's not right. From the address that Mr. Ning found, he clearly lives on Qingxi Street, 5 streets away from Changfeng Academy, which is half an hour's drive away. But Luchengliu's expression didn't look like he was lying. Since there are so many doubts, it is better to take the opportunity to inquire about it, so that the matter of Yu Xiaoyu can be resolved as soon as possible. Ling Chu stepped forward quickly and picked up the vegetable basket. "It turns out that you live nearby, so let me help you send this vegetable back. I'm just waiting for the driver to come and pick me up at your house, so as not to run into that ruffian again." Luchengliu felt something was wrong and wanted to refuse, but he was worried that if the gangster came back with someone, this girl might not be able to defeat him. He hesitated for a moment, then nodded in agreement. Ling Chu carried the vegetable basket and followed Luchengliu through the alley. After turning 2 corners, he stopped in front of a low and dilapidated house. The house was unlocked. Luchengliu reached out and pushed, and the 2 narrow wooden doors opened with a creak. Luchengliu asked Ling Chu to come in shyly, and then put the bundle of firewood he was carrying in the yard. To avoid suspicion, Luchengliu left the courtyard door open and did not invite Ling Chu to sit inside the house. Instead, he moved a bench out of the house, placed it in the yard, and then turned back to prepare tea. Ling Chu took advantage of him to enter the house and released Yu Xiaoyu's puppet soul. She kept the ghost of Yu Xiaoyu in a container for a few days, and her consciousness recovered a lot. Luchengliu brought out a bowl of water and said, "Girl, this is cold water. I don't have tea at home, so just drink it." Ling Chu thanked him and took it without drinking it. Her eyes had long been attracted by a spiritual tablet placed on the table in the yard. Seeing Ling Chu staring at the spiritual tablet, Luchengliu first took out a handkerchief and wiped the spiritual tablet carefully, then took out an oil paper bag from the vegetable basket, opened it, and placed 2 meat buns in front of the spiritual tablet. Ling Chu glanced at Yu Xiaoyu, who was staring at the tablet, and asked Luchengliu, "What is on this tablet?" Luchengliu looked sad when he heard her mention the memorial tablet. "This is my fiancée. Originally, today was her birthday. I promised to cook longevity noodles and buy meat buns for her. It's a pity that she can't eat it now." Yu Xiaoyu's ghost stood aside with an indifferent expression, indifferent to Luchengliu's words. "I don't know what happened between these 2 people. They were originally an unmarried couple, but now they are separated by yin and yang. No matter what the matter is, you must ask clearly before it can be solved." Taking advantage of the fact that Yu Xiaoyu's ghost was also present, Ling Chu didn't mince words anymore and said directly, "I would like to ask, how did your fiancée die?" Luchengliu clenched his fists tightly and his eyes were red. "She was killed by someone. I am useless. I still can't help her avenge her." Yu Xiaoyu was originally indifferent. When she heard this, she roared angrily, "You lied. I was obviously killed by you, a heartless man. It's July, please vote." End of this chapter. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I made a fortune by raiding houses in ancient times. Author, Half-Life Calligraphy. Chapter 73. Chapter 73. The dove takes over the magpie's nest. Seeing Yu Xiaoyu's puppet soul looking agitated, Ling Chu worried that her newly recovered mind would start to become confused again, and he was afraid that trying to figure out the whole thing would have to be delayed again. Hurriedly took out a requiem charm and patted it on her soul. Lu Chengliu couldn't see Yu Xiaoyu, holding the tablet with both hands, looking painful and guilty. While his expression was focused on the memorial tablet, Ling Chu said coldly, "Lu Chengliu, you said Yu Xiaoyu was killed by someone else, but she said she was killed by you." Lu Chengliu was sad. He didn't realize that Yu Xiaoyu was dead, so how could he tell Ling Chu that she was killed by him? Holding the tablet, he murmured, "Xiaoyu and I are childhood sweethearts. I love her so much, so how could I harm her? Since you were not the one responsible for her death, how did Yu Xiaoyu die?" Thinking of the past, Lu Chengliu was filled with guilt and regret. If I hadn't been so kind and lured the wolf into the house, how could I have harmed her? Under the influence of the Requiem talisman, Yu Xiaoyu's puppet soul calmed down a bit, but it was still unbearable to be angry. "It's full of nonsense. It's obvious that you fell in love with another girl after you came to Beijing and wanted to break off the engagement with me. I don't agree. You tricked me out and said you wanted to take me to see the scenery of Kyoto, but in the end you pushed me into the river and drowned me alive." Ling Chu frowned. Each person had his own thoughts, and Yu Xiaoyu kept saying that it was Lu Chengliu who harmed her. But Lu Chengliu said that someone else had killed his fiancée. Something was fishy, so Ling Chu simply exchanged a drop of cow's tears from the system and opened Lu Chengliu's yin and yang eyes. Let this person be confronted face to face. Let her see what's going on. Lu Chengliu was immersed in sadness and pain when he suddenly found the figure in front of him that made him think about it day and night. He rushed towards it with a face full of ecstasy. "Xiaoyu, Xiaoyu, you finally came back to see me." Yu Xiaoyu was just a puppet soul. Lu Chengliu couldn't touch her at all. He could only watch his hands pass through her body. Lu Chengliu couldn't touch Yu Xiaoyu, so he could only shout her name over and over with a painful expression. But Yu Xiaoyu only had endless anger and sadness. "Don't call me. In order to support your education, I did embroidery day and night, just to earn more money for you to hand over to you and buy pens, inks, paper and inkstones. I didn't expect that you would change your mind long ago after entering Beijing. In order to marry her, you personally pushed me into the river and watched me drown." Hearing these accusations, Lu Chengliu couldn't help crying in pain, embroidering the moon, it's not me, I didn't do it." A quarter of an hour later, after listening to Lu Chengliu's story, Ling Chu was almost stunned. She finally understood why Lu Chengliu's appearance was inconsistent when she saw him in the academy. Yu Xiaoyu never thought that her death would have such a hidden secret. With a pop, he knelt down to Ling Chu. "Girl, I know you are capable, can you please help Brother Lu? It doesn't matter if I die, but everything about Brother Lu has been taken away by others. Can you please help him get everything he deserves?" Lu Chengliu didn't know why Yu Xiaoyu asked this girl, but he also knelt down and said, "Girl, I don't ask for anything else. Xiaoyu died unjustly. If you can do anything, I just ask you to help her seek justice. Let that ambitious person get the punishment he deserves." Before Ling Chu opened his mouth, the electronic sound of the system sounded in his mind. Ding. Requested task detected. Please ask the host to seek justice for the victim and expose the true face of the perpetrator. Ling Chu withdrew his gaze from the virtual screen and signaled Yu Xiaoyu and Lu Chengliu to get up. "Let's go, it's better to choose the day than to hit it. Let's go to Changfeng Academy. Yu Xiaoyu's matter also concerns Prince Zheng. It was Ning Chui who asked her to help in the first place. Even if there were no tasks issued by the system, Ling Chu would not stand idly by. Now that we have figured out the whole story, we might as well resolve the matter as soon as possible. Ling Chu took out the container and put away Yu Xiaoyu's puppet soul. Lu Qingliu was stunned. Girl, why did you arrest Xiaoyu? People are different. You can't stay together for a long time, otherwise it will harm your body and destiny. Yu Xiaoyu is a puppet soul now. If she stays in the sun all the time, her soul will become weaker and weaker. Collecting her will help nourish her soul. After the death of my fiancée, it was not easy to see her again. Lu Qingliu wished he could stay with her all the time. He originally didn't care that his luck and body would be harmed, but when he heard that Yu Xiaoyu's soul was in danger, he had no choice but to endure the heartache and give up on being with her. Although Yu Xiaoyu was not killed by him personally, she had a close relationship with him after all. He couldn't bear to be implicated by him after her death. Outsiders are not allowed to enter or leave Changfeng Academy at will, so Ling Chu plans to win over Prince Jing. Prince Jing's son has a noble status and is also a victim. He should contribute both emotionally and rationally. Ling Chu took Lu Qingliu and went straight to Prince Jing's mansion. Hearing that Yu Xiaoyu's case had become clearer and that the culprit who killed her had been found, Prince Jing immediately geared up to ask Ling Chu to seek justice for him. Is there any way for the crown prince to enter Changfeng Academy? Why, the person who killed Yu Xiaoyu turned out to be in Changfeng Academy. Come on, let me see who killed him and caused the young master to suffer so much. Others could not enter Changfeng Academy, but Prince Jing did not take Changfeng Academy seriously at all. Even the palace can come and go with ease, let alone a small academy. The old man guarding the gate of Changfeng Academy saw that the person coming was Prince Jing, and he did not dare to stop him at all. He nodded and bowed to welcome him in. Even Ling Chu and the man wearing a black gauze hat who were following behind did not dare to stop them, thinking that they were the maids and servants of Prince Jing. Entering the academy, Prince Jing stopped a passing student and asked, "Where is Lu Qingliu from your academy now?" As the most famous dandy in Kyoto, Prince Jing's reputation is unknown to everyone. When the student saw that it was him, he immediately came over to greet them respectfully, and then personally took them to find Lu Qingliu. It was time for classes to break, and the arrival of Prince Jing attracted the attention of many people. Seeing that he was angry and looking for trouble, many students followed them. Entering the courtyard where the bamboo repair class was, Ling Chu saw many students gathered together in twos and threes talking. Prince Jing's noble status immediately attracted the attention of those students. The student who was leading the way glanced around and saw Lu Qingliu standing with two classmates talking. He immediately waved to him, "Brother Lu, why don't you come over quickly to pay tribute to Prince Jing?" Originally, the students were speculating on the purpose of Prince Jing's visit. When they heard that he was looking for Lu Qingliu, many people immediately became envious of him. I don't know where Lu Qingliu's luck came from, but he managed to become the crown prince of Prince Jing. Isn't it going to be a smooth career from now on? Others were envious, but Lu Qingliu was surprised. Although he knew Prince Jing, he had no contact with him at all, and for some reason he suddenly came to the academy to look for him. Seeing Lu Qingliu standing still, the classmate next to him pushed him and motioned for him to hurry over and greet him. Lu Qingliu came back to his senses, endured the uneasiness in his heart and walked over. "I have met Prince Jing." Prince Jing walked around and looked at him before saying, "Are you the dove that occupied Nestle? If there is an afterlife, I want to forget you, exquisite heart, Jin Yj, little snow eagle, wish you woo." Prose. Ba, unthinkable, lickle, earth, ball, mommy mamihi, 854 729, Shuiyu ahi, Raji, Scene Chen 0724, Hidden Stars, Travel Lightly, Long Sky, 202207041846395510, Begonia 838, love has passed away. Thank you all for your strong votes. End of this chapter. I made a fortune by raiding houses in ancient times. Author, Half-Life Calligraphy. Chapter 74. Chapter 74 Debt for a Life. Luchengliu still maintained his greeting posture. Seeing that Prince Jing did not call out, but instead looked at him from head to toe with a cold face, he felt uneasy. Now that I heard Prince Jing's words, my heart skipped a beat, and I clenched my fists subconsciously, then quickly released them. Prince Jing, I don't understand what you are talking about. Prince Jing immediately put away the folding fan in his hand and sneered, I don't understand. You, this dove that came from nowhere, took over someone else's nestle and thought it was your own? You have done so many things, so you are not afraid. Knocking on the door in the middle of the night. That Yuziu was really stupid. After her death, she did not seek revenge on the person who killed her. Instead, she came to pester him, her savior, and made him suffer so much. He was really angry to death. Luchengliu's pupils tightened. What did Prince Jing mean by these words? Did he know what he had done? Impossible. He has always been cautious in doing things. Prince Jing didn't know him at all, so how could he possibly know about it? Luchengliu was uneasy in his heart, but tried his best to calm down on his face. I don't know what Prince Jing is talking about. It's time to go to class, and Master will be here soon. I want to go back to listen to Master's lecture, so I'll take my leave first. Luchengliu bowed his hands and turned around to leave. As long as he entered the classroom and the Master came, even the Prince Jing would not dare to disturb the Master's class. The students who were looking around were originally curious about the purpose of Prince Jing's visit, but they were confused by what he just said. Although they had doubts, no one dared to speak. Seeing that Luchengliu was about to leave before the matter was even finished, Prince Jing immediately became furious. As long as he has grown up, no one has ever escaped unharmed after someone provoked him. Although it was not Luchengliu who made him suffer so much, he was the culprit. If he hadn't killed Yuziu, Yuziu wouldn't have bothered him after her death. Prince Jing became extremely angry when he thought of the days when he didn't eat well, didn't sleep well, and slept with a ghost. Regardless of whether this was an academy or not, he threw the fan in his hand to the boy, rolled up his sleeves, ran over in a few steps, kicked Luchengliu hard in the back. Luchengliu was unprepared and immediately fell into a dog's excrement with a thud. The students who were preparing to go back to class were shocked by this incident, but no one dared to come forward to accuse Prince Jing. The reputation of Prince Jing as a is not just for nothing, it is real. In this world, except for the emperor, his parents, and the queen mother, he dare not hit him. Even if the prince offends him, he dares to beat him back. I heard that when he was studying in the study room, beating the prince was a common thing, and he even dared to pull out the beard of the prince. The most irritating thing is that every time Prince Jing gets into trouble, he is protected by the Queen Mother. The Queen Mother knew that Prince Jing was as sensitive as his father and could only be a playboy, so she always felt guilty for him. Therefore, as long as he has not committed a serious crime of treason, even if Prince Jing pokes a big hole in the sky, the Queen Mother and her will happily help him make up for it. Such a lawless dandy, who dares to mess with him? If these students come forward to stop them, if they are beaten up by Prince Jing in anger, other than admitting themselves as unlucky, can they expect the emperor to help them get it back? There was no time when those memorials to impeach Prince Jing were not suppressed by the emperor. Although the students who were watching tried to persuade Prince Jing to speak his mind and not to hit anyone, no one dared to step forward to stop him. Luchengliu endured the pain and humiliation, got up from the ground, and asked with an aggrieved face, Prince Jing, how can you hit someone for no reason? Prince Jing looked at him sideways, what's wrong with my prince beating someone? The matter hasn't been finished yet. Did I let you go, before Prince Jing hit someone? Ling Chu saw it but did not stop him. Compared to all the bad things Lu Chengliu did, this kick was really nothing. Prince Jing always got a bad breath out of him if he got involved with him. Lu Chengliu felt aggrieved, but he pretended to be forbearing like a powerless student who endured the bullying of powerful people. I don't know where I offended the crown prince. I just took it as an apology to the crown prince for that kick. Now, can I go back to class, yet? Prince Jing was so disgusted by his innocent look that he wanted to kick him again, but when he saw the condemnation in the eyes of the students who were watching from the corner of his eye, he became even more angry. Miss Ling, come and expose this guy's true identity. Prince Jing was originally going to give Lu Chengliu a good beating to vent his anger, but now he changed his mind and wanted to be a person who can convince others with reason. His Prince Jing is not an unreasonable playboy. He always beats those who really deserve a beating. Ling Chu felt it was a pity that Prince Jing stopped fighting. She was originally planning to wait for him to give Lu Chengliu a good beating before stepping forward to stop him, but she didn't expect that this prince would not follow his path. If it weren't for the public's attention, Ling Chu would have really wanted to tell Prince Jing that since he was a well-known dandy in Kyoto, he should be beaten when necessary, and he would do anything to convince others. It was a waste of his noble title. Being glared at by Ling Chu with disgust, Prince Jing was still baffled. He had no idea that Ling Chu was jealous of him. Even if he was jealous, he still had the Queen Mother's biggest golden thigh to support him. Under Lu Chengliu's uncertain gaze, Ling Chu stepped forward step by step. Lu Chengliu, I'm here to collect debt from you. At first, Lu Chengliu was anxiously wondering whether the girl knew about what he had done, but unexpectedly she came to collect debts from him. As soon as the tight strings were loosened, Lu Chengliu frowned and asked, "Girl, I don't know you, and I have never borrowed money from you. Have you found the wrong person?" "That's right, I'm looking for you. But I haven't borrowed a penny from the girl." "You have never borrowed money from me, and the debt I am collecting is not money." Lu Chengliu's brows furrowed tighter and tighter. Although he didn't know why this girl came to collect any debt from him, but thinking of what Prince Jing had said earlier, he instinctively felt uneasy and just wanted to get rid of her as soon as possible. "I have never met the girl, and I don't owe you anything." The girl must have recognized the wrong person. "The master is coming soon, and I have to go back to class." Now that the culprit has been found, how could Ling Chu let him leave? "Lu Chengliu, the debt I am collecting is a human life." As soon as Ling Chu said these words, the blood on Lu Chengliu's face disappeared in an instant, leaving only a pale white. "I don't know what the girl is talking about." Lu Chengliu suppressed his panic and tried his best to pretend to be calm. "Since you don't know, then why are you panicking?" Ling Chu's eyes circled around the opponent's fists with bulging veins, staring at him with a cold gaze. "It's July. Why are there fewer and fewer subscriptions and votes recently? I'm so depressed." End of this chapter. I made a fortune by raiding houses in ancient times. Author, Half-Life Calligraphy. Chapter 75. Chapter 75 Impersonation. Lu Chengliu was in a panic when his master suddenly scolded him with dissatisfaction from outside the crowd. "What are you doing here? Why don't you go back to class?" Lu Chengliu secretly breathed a sigh of relief at the arrival of his master, and then he was surprised to realize that his back was soaked with sweat. Those students who were watching were waiting for Ling Chu to continue talking, but their interest in listening to the gossip was suddenly interrupted by the master, who felt as uncomfortable as 100 claws scratching their hearts. The steps to leave were slow, and for a long time I couldn't move a few steps. Seeing that they didn't want to leave, the master was about to scold them, but suddenly he saw a group of people standing in the middle. "Hey, Prince Jing, why did you come to Changfeng Academy?" Prince Jing had a headache when he saw the master. He gave a perfunctory salute to the master and secretly signaled Ling Chu to answer with his eyes. Ling Chu gave him a funny look. How could this lawless dandy see the master like a mouse meeting a cat? Ling Chu Fu personally gave the master a gift and dropped a bomb directly without making any detours. Master, this Lu Qingliu is fake. We came to Changfeng Academy to expose his true identity. The students who were about to leave were stunned by Ling Chu's bomb. Have they heard some incredible secret? Is this Lu Qingliu fake? Unlike those students who were excited when they heard the gossip, Master Zhang scolded him with a straight face. Whose girl are you from? If you don't stay at home, why would you follow Prince Jing to the academy and cause mischief? The academy is a place for learning. You are not allowed to cause trouble here. Please leave immediately. Ling Chu was speechless. No wonder Prince Jing didn't want to pay attention to this master. He concluded that she was just fooling around before the matter was clear. Fortunately, it was just the master of the academy. If he were the official responsible for investigating the case, with his indiscriminate and arbitrary judgment, there would be many unjust, false, and erroneous cases. Even if you want to reprimand, you should clarify the matter first. Prince Jing, please take your people and leave the academy quickly. If you dare to cause trouble again, don't blame me and report it to the emperor. After scolding Ling Chu, Master Zhang pointed the finger at Prince Jing. Others are afraid of this noble prince, but he, Jiangning, is not afraid of powerful people. Prince Jing has a bad temper. He rolls up his sleeves and wants to go forward and beat him. These teachers are indeed just as stereotyped and annoying, always self-righteous. Seeing that Prince Jing wanted to beat the master, Ling Chu's forehead veins jumped. But he can't be allowed to do it. If he hits the master, even if they are reasonable, they will become unreasonable. The situation would have gotten out of control and Lu Qingliu would have taken the opportunity to escape. Ling Chu hurriedly stepped in front of Prince Jing before he could make a move. Master, we are not messing around. This Lu Qingliu is indeed a fake and someone else has impersonated him. Master Zhang saw that they not only refused to leave, but also dared to mess around. His beard stood up in anger. What is true or false? Who dares to pretend to be someone else in broad daylight? Besides, the people in this academy are not blind. How can we not tell whether it is true or not? I think you guys just have nothing to do and come to Changfeng Academy to have fun. Seeing that Master Zhang was as determined to defend himself as he thought, Lu Qingliu was heartbroken, and a smile quietly flashed in his eyes. This smile was suppressed by him in an instant, and he said with a look of sincerity and fear, Prince Jing, I have offended you at some point. You kicked me just now, so you should regard it as my apology. Please forgive me. If you pass me this time, I will respect you as the most important person in the world. Master Zhang was so angry when he heard that Prince Jing dared to beat a student. You are really lawless. Taking advantage of your status, you beat a student. When I see Prince Jing, I must ask him what happened. Teach you. Prince Jing was so angry that he started to roll up his sleeves again. He will definitely beat this master and Lu Qingliu today. Ling Chu sighed. If there was a fight, he would definitely be impeached by the censor. Your Majesty, please be patient and calm. After stopping Prince Jing, Ling Chu looked at Lu Qingliu with cold eyes. It's really murderous and heartbreaking. Just now Lu Qingliu said that he should respect Prince Jing as the most important person in the world. If people think that Prince Jing is relying on his status to force those powerless students to bow to him, it won't be a big problem. But if someone with ulterior motives takes advantage of him and attacks him, saying that Prince Jing is plotting rebellion, forcing others to respect him as the emperor. Even if he were the legitimate son of Prince Jing, he might not be able to escape punishment from the emperor, and even the queen mother might not be willing to protect him. Lu Qingliu, do you dare to swear to God, are you really Lu Qingliu? After all the hard work you have done, you are not afraid that the person you killed will come to you in the middle of the night to ask for an explanation. Lu Qingliu's eyes subconsciously dodge when Ling Chu confronts him. But he reacted quickly, and he couldn't feel guilty in front of everyone. I don't know where the girl heard the nonsense and thought I was some fake Lu Qingliu. Ever since I came to Changfeng Academy to study, many teachers and classmates in the academy have recognized me. If I was a fake, how could I have concealed it? There are so many people in the academy. What Lu Chengliu said was true. Originally, only his master and classmates in the Zuzhou class recognized him. But later, he often got first-class grades in his studies. After his reputation spread, almost all the teachers and students in Changfeng Academy knew him. If he had been impersonated, they would have discovered it long ago. Girl, are you mistaken? We all know Lu Chengliu. We have been classmates for half a year. How could he be fake? You are a pretty girl, but why do you like to mess around? Lu Chengliu has been studying in the Bamboo Xiu class with us since he entered Changfeng Academy. Who can have such great ability? Are you pretending to be him? You're a girl, you'd better go home as soon as possible, don't follow the men around and make people laugh. Hearing his classmates' defense of him, Lu Chengliu was convinced that he was Lu Chengliu. As long as he didn't deny it, no one could prove that he was fake. Lu Chengliu bowed to Ling Chu and said with a helpless expression, "Girl, if I have offended you unintentionally, then Lu will apologize to you here. Please don't listen to other people's nonsense in the future. You have to believe in the teachers and students in the academy. No one can pretend to be someone else under their noses without being discovered." Master Zhang was relieved to see that his proud student was still so generous and polite after being wronged. I haven't reached the point where my eyes are dim yet. I can tell the truth at a glance. Okay, I won't care about this matter this time. I believe you have also been deceived by other people's nonsense. When you leave the academy, remember that in the future stop listening to the wind as the rain. After hearing these words, Prince Jing could no longer hold back the anger in his heart. Fart, you are all a bunch of blind people. With your level of blindness, I am afraid that your parents will not be able to recognize them if they are impersonated by others. Thanks to Kai Yuning, 202303061958333531, 20230601621658, alone at me, Weiwa, Yang.ba, not thinking of Ming, happy reading, Clara, Yuan Yu, Zeng, a blue iris, asterisk carat. Carat carat o carat asterisk, 2022090808504391 and other book friends monthly votes and recommendation votes. Thank you all for your support. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I made a fortune by raiding houses in ancient times. Author, Half-Life Calligraphy. Chapter 76. Chapter 76 True and False Lu Chengliu. Master Zhang was contradicted by Prince Jing in public. He was so angry that his hands and feet were trembling. You are a dignified prince. How can you behave so openly? Being scolded for being blind, not only Master Zhang was angry, but the students who were watching were also furious. What I said is right, you are indeed blind. Prince Jing was also annoyed by being scolded all the time. Miss Ling, quickly reveal the true face of that faker and let them see for themselves whether they are blind or not. Ling Chu didn't want to argue with them anymore. Who is true and who is false cannot be determined by words. Lu Chengliu, come here. Lu Chengliu, who was wearing a blue student uniform, frowned and didn't understand why the girl called him over. What else does the girl have to do? It's time for class. We have to go back and listen to the master's lecture. He stood still. Prince Jing looked at him sideways and said, I didn't call you. Lu Chengliu frowned. The girl just called his name, and he heard it right. Those students who were watching were also confused. They all heard that the girl just called Lu Chengliu, that's right. Just when everyone was confused, a man wearing a grey patchwork gown and a black gauze hat walked in from outside the crowd. Although he couldn't see the man's appearance clearly, Lu Chengliu suddenly felt uneasy for no reason. The man walked step by step to stand next to Ling Chu and Prince Jing, then turned to face the students. Prince Jing shook the folding fan in his hand and suddenly put it away with a snap. "Come on, let them see what it means to be blind with your eyes open." The man raised his hand and slowly took off the black gauze hat on his head, revealing a face exactly like Lu Chengliu's. Master Zhang and the surrounding students were shocked. Looking at the man in the bamboo hat, he turned to look at Lu Chengliu, who was standing next to Master Zhang. "How come there are two Lu Chengliu here?" The moment he saw the man's face, Lu Chengliu's heart sank. At first he saw this man wearing a bamboo hat and standing with the guard boy of Prince Jing. He thought he was the driver of Prince Jing's palace, but he didn't expect it was him. How is this possible? Isn't he dead? He watched him fall to the bottom of the mountain with his own eyes. How could he still be alive after falling so high? After Master Zhang was surprised, he frowned and pointed at the man in the bamboo hat and asked Prince Jing, "What on earth is going on? Who is he?" Prince Jing held his head high and said confidently, "He is Lu Chengliu. The one next to you is a fake." "Impossible," Master Zhang blurted out. "This Lu Chengliu can be said to be his favorite student. Every time he comes to teach in the bamboo class, he is the most serious and hard-working one. Except when Mu Xiu was on vacation, Lu Chengliu was under his nose almost every day. How could it be fake?" Ling Chu stretched out his hand to take the bamboo hat from Lu Chengliu's hand and motioned for him to pay tribute to his master. With his eyes red, Lu Chengliu turned around and bowed to Master Zhang. "Student Lu Chengliu has met Master Zhang." Master Zhang froze on the spot, overwhelmed by the student's salute for the first time. Lu Chengliu, who was standing next to him, clenched his fists and stared at the person opposite him. He regretted that he didn't go to the bottom of the mountain to confirm whether he was really dead. The students looked at each other in confusion at first, and then looked at each other carefully. Which of these two Lu Chengliu is true and which is false? These two people are almost identical in height and face. However, after careful comparison, everyone found that the Lu Chengliu standing next to Master Zhang had a lighter complexion. In addition, he was wearing a student uniform, and like most students, he had a bookish air. The man standing next to Prince Jing has a slightly darker complexion and is wearing a gray gown with patches. He also looks gray and lackluster. In this comparison, almost no one believes that the person next to Prince Jing is real. Lu Chengliu was originally uneasy, but he noticed the change in his classmates' eyes. With a thought in his heart, he suddenly straightened his back and said, "I don't know who you are, but I am indeed Lu Chengliu. Both my master and my classmates can prove that I am not fake." Ling Chu could tell at a glance that the other party was trying his best to pretend to be righteous. He smiled, turned to Master Zhang and said, "I heard that since Lu Chengliu entered Changfeng Academy, he got first-class grades in almost every subject. But how come I heard that Lu Chengliu, the guy next to you, got B-grade grades? Also, his handwriting is not as good as before. Master Zhang, don't you think it's strange?" Hearing these words, Lu Chengliu not only did not feel nervous, but felt relieved. He had already been on guard against this flaw. Master Zhang has always been aware of the changes in Lu Chengliu's coursework and calligraphy. There is nothing surprising about this. Lu Chengliu frightened his horse, fell off the horse, and injured his head and hands. This caused his grades and calligraphy to be worse than before. Lu Chengliu was not only his classmate, but also his favored brother-in-law. Even though Zhou Wenkei didn't want to offend Prince Jing, he couldn't help but come forward and said, "Girl, Lu Chengliu injured his head and hand after falling, and our entire Changfeng Academy knows about it." Ling Chu glanced at him and ignored him. Instead, he turned to Lu Chengliu and said, "Write a few words for everyone to see." Lu Chengliu was grateful to Ling Chu, knowing that she was asking him to prove his identity. Glancing around the familiar faces, Luchengliu raised his hand to one of the tall and thin classmates. "Brother Xie, can I borrow your 4 treasures of the study?" Xie Jinzi looked suspicious. How could this person know his name? Perhaps seeing the doubts in his heart, Luchengliu simply walked over and bowed to these former classmates one by one. Seeing that he could call everyone's name accurately, the people present were more and more surprised. Ling Chu saw everyone looking confused and couldn't help but sneered. "Why, you still don't believe it? You should all recognize Luchengliu's handwriting. Let him write a few for you." Seeing that no one was moving, Ling Chu sank. "Why, is it possible that your academy doesn't have pens, ink, paper, and inkstones?" Xie Jinzi glanced at Master Zhang and saw that he did not object. He turned around and pulled 2 classmates beside him, and walked quickly to the classroom. I quickly brought a set of pens, ink, paper, and inkstones, and also brought out a table. After Luchengliu thanked him, he took the 4 treasures of the study and placed them on the table. He dipped his pen in ink and wrote on the rice paper. Master Zhang hesitated for a moment, then walked over. Beside him, Luchengliu stood still, anxious and uneasy in his heart. Seeing the familiar calligraphy on the rice paper, Master Jiang's expression changed. "Are you really Luchengliu?" Luchengliu's calligraphy is recognized by many students, especially those who are in the Zuzhou class with him. Xie Jinzi and the others were still in disbelief when they saw this familiar handwriting. If the man in gray shirt in front of them is really Luchengliu, who is the Luchengliu who is with them every day? Asking for votes. Asking for votes. Asking for votes. Say important things 3 times. End of this chapter. I made a fortune by raiding houses in ancient times. Author, Half-Life Calligraphy. Chapter 77. Hearing Master Jiang's question, Luchengliu put down the pen in his hand and bowed. "Student Luchengliu, thank you for your calligraphy advice." This familiar scene made Master Zhang instantly remember that when Luchengliu first came to Changfeng Academy, when he was in class, he found that his writing style still needed to be improved, and he gave him advice on how to improve it. At that time, after Luchengliu heard this, he put down the pen in his hand and bowed to him just like he does now. I still remember what he said at that time. "Student Luchengliu thanks Master for giving me calligraphy advice." Master Jiang's lips trembled. "Are you really Luchengliu?" But. Seeing that Master Jiang's attitude began to waver, Luchengliu, who was dressed in student uniform, couldn't help the anxiety in his heart, walked over quickly, and interrupted Master Jiang's words. "Master, don't be deceived when you gave me instructions on calligraphy. Everyone knew about it. This person must have found out about it and deliberately used it to deceive you." Master Zhang was reminded of this, and his excited heart cooled down again. When he pointed out Luchengliu's calligraphy, many people did see it. If this person deliberately inquired, it would not be difficult to find out. Seeing Master Zhang calm down, Luchengliu turned to face that familiar face and said indignantly, "Who are you? What are your intentions in coming to Changfeng Academy? You actually took advantage of my injury to imitate my handwriting and inquire about us, the names of my classmates. Do you think you want to replace me based on these? Are you too underestimated the teachers and students of our Changfeng Academy? Do you think you can deceive everyone with these little tricks? Let me tell you, everyone in our academy has the ability to distinguish right from wrong, and will never be deceived by you." Luchengliu looked at the face that looked like his own, angry and sad. Seeing that his hands and feet were shaking with anger, he was speechless. Ling Chu sighed in his heart. No wonder he was robbed of everything by others, but if he didn't come back, Luchengliu would be too clumsy and clumsy. Forget it, let her expose the other party's true face. Ling Chu sneered. What a slap in the face. Who imitated other people's handwriting? Who is deceiving the teachers and students in the academy? Why, do you think that with your face and the student uniform you are wearing? Can he really replace Luchengliu? Ignoring the other party's cannibalistic gaze, Ling Chu turned to face the surrounding students and teachers, pointed at Lu Chengliu who was wearing a student uniform and said loudly, "This is not the real Lu Chengliu, his real name is Lu Mingliu." What happened? How can it be appropriate for so many people to gather here? Ling Chu's words were suddenly interrupted by a deep male voice. Everyone turned around and saw that it was the chief of the academy. As soon as Prince Jing saw the visitor, he immediately said, "Chang Ji Shan is here just in time. Lu Chengliu of your academy has been replaced by someone else. We are exposing the other party's true identity." Lu Mingliu was already panicking when Ling Chu revealed his identity, but when he saw that the headmaster of the academy had been alarmed, his face suddenly turned pale. Ji Shan Chang was stunned. "I just thought I heard something saying that Lu Chengliu is not true. What is going on? Lu Chengliu from the Zhu class is a good prospect in the academy, and Chief Ji Shan doesn't want anything to happen to him." Ling Chu first bowed to Mr. Ji Shan, and quickly told the whole story in order not to be interrupted. 6 months ago, Lu Chengliu went to Beijing to study. On the way, he met an injured and unconscious man. Lu Chengliu was kind-hearted and couldn't bear what happened to the other man, so he fed the man his own medicine and bandaged his wound. To his surprise, this man not only had a face exactly like his, but also had only one letter difference with his name, which was Lu Mingliu. After the man woke up, he told Lu Chengliu that he was going to Beijing to study. He accidentally exposed his wealth on the way and was robbed by gangsters. He was injured when he resisted. Lu Chengliu had a good impression of him because he looked like him, and felt pity after hearing his story. "I feel that it was fate that God allowed them to meet." So Lu Chengliu proposed that the two of them go to Beijing to study together. Lu Mingliu's money had been robbed by gangsters. Zheng Zhou didn't know how to get to Beijing. After hearing Lu Chengliu's words, he naturally agreed happily. On the way to Beijing, Lu Chengliu saw that the other party was penniless, so he not only helped him pay for food and accommodation. After entering Beijing, he rented a house. Seeing that Lu Mingliu had nowhere to go, he also invited the other party to live with him. Lu Mingliu was grateful for Lu Chengliu's efforts and said that when he recovered, he would find a way to repay him. Shortly after settling in the capital, Lu Chengliu passed the academy examination and entered Changfeng Academy to study. Lu Mingliu was injured by a gangster and his wound became infected. He fell ill again after entering Beijing and stayed in bed for more than a month. By the time he recovered, he had already missed the opportunity to enroll in the academy. Lu Chengliu has no brothers or sisters in his family. Because Lu Mingliu looks similar to him, he treats him as his brother. For more than a month, Lu Mingliu was not only provided with a house to live in, but also had 3 meals a day. He even used his little money to help the other party seek medical advice. Lu Mingliu was originally grateful for his efforts. But as time passed day by day, Lu Mingliu gradually began to feel jealous when he saw that Lu Chengliu was enjoying a prosperous life at Changfeng Academy and was praised by his master and classmates, but he himself had accomplished nothing and had no chance to even enter the academy. Obviously they both looked the same, but they both went to Beijing to study alone. How come Lu Chengliu was luckier than himself and reached Kyoto safely all the way, but he was robbed of all his money and injured by gangsters? After entering Beijing, Lu Chang and Lu Shun were successfully admitted to Changfeng Academy, but he lingered in bed and missed the academy's admissions. Lu Chengliu excelled in his studies and was often praised by his master and envied by his classmates. However, he accomplished nothing. Even his accommodation and 3 meals a day had to be donated by others. The greater the comparison, the more envious Lu Mingliu became, and the more unwilling he became. Gradually, an idea came to his mind. He wants to replace Lu Chengliu. With these thoughts together, Lu Mingliu became more and more excited as he thought about it. His appearance is exactly the same as Lu Chengliu. As long as it works properly, it is not impossible to replace him. Once he made up his mind, Lu Mingliu began to secretly imitate Lu Chengliu's words and deeds, even his calligraphy lessons, and intentionally or unintentionally inquired about his affairs at Changfeng Academy. Lu Mingliu was even more ecstatic when he discovered that he was quite talented in imitation. Since then, Lu Mingliu has tried every opportunity to imitate Lu Chengliu and inquired about everything he did at Changfeng Academy in detail. Just when Lu Mingliu was racking his brains, he learned that Lu Chengliu's fiancée wanted to go to Kyoto. Lu Mingliu was worried that there would be extraneous matters, so he found an opportunity to ask Lu Chengliu to go hiking in the capital in the name of appreciating the scenery of Kyoto. Lu Chengliu, who was unaware of anything, readily agreed. Just when he climbed to the top of the mountain in high spirits, Lu Mingliu took advantage of him and pushed him down from the top of the mountain. Thanks to the heartbeat on the left, Kitang, maybe not qualified at 854-729, Wiawa, Haitang 838, Ning, National 114,514 level protected waste, Yunwu Sishishan, Chenyaling, Zheng, Kochiang, Yuanyu, Pros. BA, 2022711210111074, Xiaoxi and other book friends have strong support. I made a fortune by raiding houses in ancient times. Author, Half-Life Calligraphy. Chapter 78. After hearing the whole story, people present started talking a lot. It turns out that this person not only looks like Lu Chengliu, but even his name is only one word different. The world is so big that it is full of wonders. It's not that there aren't people who look alike in this world, but what I didn't expect is that this Lu Mingliu turns out to be a person who repays kindness with hatred. I really despise him. That is, someone kindly saved him, but instead of being grateful, he deliberately plotted to kill him, Lu Chengliu, and replace him. He was not only ungrateful, but also evil-hearted. Listening to the accusations and discussions from his classmates, Lu Mingliu was flustered and desperately tried to calm down. He glared at Ling Chu with malicious eyes. This who appeared out of nowhere really deserves to die. Don't think about ruining everything he had worked so hard to achieve with just a few words. Girl, you made up a good story, but what you said is just nonsense. You said that I pretended to be Lu Chengliu. What evidence do you have to prove that what you said is true? So what if his identity is exposed? As long as he refuses to admit it, others will have nothing to do with him. Even if this girl knew what he had done, he would not be afraid. Even if the government decides a case, it must pay attention to evidence. Lu Chengliu can't even think about taking everything away from him with empty words. Hearing what Lu Mingliu said, Chief Ji Shan and Master Zhang looked embarrassed. Just based on what the girl said, it was really difficult for them to judge who was true and who was false. Who said I have no evidence? Ling Chu sneered. She was not stupid. She had already guessed that Lu Mingliu would not admit it. Lu Mingliu's heart skipped a beat, and his mind was racing, trying desperately to think of whether he had left any clues. Ling Chu saw his panic-stricken eyes, raised his lips and smiled, turned around and left. Lu Mingliu frowned. Although he didn't know why she left suddenly, he felt relieved at least. Prince Jing guessed that Ling Chu was going to find evidence, so he immediately put away his folding fan and shouted excitedly, "Let's go, let's go." Took 2 steps forward and found that Lu Mingliu not only did not follow, but also wanted to slip away. Prince Jing immediately dodged and stopped him. Are you feeling guilty and want to take the opportunity to escape? Lu Mingliu secretly resented that his intention was discovered. But he knew that Prince Jing had a noble status, so he didn't dare to offend him. He could only pretend to be innocent and said, I don't know what the prince is talking about. I just want to go back and listen to master's lectures. This is treating him as a fool. Prince Jing sneered, what class are you taking? Don't you want evidence? Hee, what are you still dreaming about here? When Miss Ling finds the evidence, Changfeng Academy will never tolerate such a person with bad intentions and moral corruption studying in the academy. This Lu Mingliu will definitely be kicked out of Changfeng Academy. Seeing Lu Mingliu standing still, Prince Jing immediately waved his hand to his guards and said, "Take him away." After receiving the order, Prince Jing's guards forcibly took him away regardless of Lu Mingliu's resistance. He was his student after all. When Master Zhang saw that Lu Mingliu had been struggling under the brutal restraint of the two guards, his heart softened. "Your Majesty, the truth of the matter has not yet been found out. Aren't you afraid of others criticizing you for taking advantage of others? Is this Mr. Zhang too old and confused? A dandy like him would be afraid of being criticized." "Master, don't worry. I am not bullying others. I am seeking justice for myself. This Lu Mingliu has caused me a lot of suffering. Even if the Emperor and the Queen Mother knew that I came to settle accounts with him, they would not be dissatisfied with me at all." When Master Zhang and Chief Ji Shan saw Prince Jing's angry face, they couldn't help but be shocked. Could it be that Lu Mingliu had taken advantage of someone else's heart and dared to offend Prince Jing? Although Prince Jing was a dandy and had caused a lot of trouble since childhood, the Emperor's punishment for his nephew was always louder than rain. Let alone the Queen Mother, her love for this grandson can be compared with that of the prince. If it were known that Prince Jing had suffered a crime, not to mention the students of Changfeng Academy, Master Zhang and Chief Ji Shan would not be able to afford it and would just walk around in circles. Lu Mingliu had been struggling originally, but he couldn't care less about it now. His mind was frantically thinking about when he had offended Prince Jing. Ling Chu ignored them. She knew that Prince Jing had suffered so much and would never let Lu Mingliu go. Ling Chu led a group of people and went straight to Lu Mingliu's house on Qingxi Street. Lu Mingliu stood in front of his house with a look of surprise and uncertainty. Lu Qingliu, who was following behind, looked sad when he saw this familiar house. This was originally a house he rented, but now it has become the home of his enemy. If he had not known people well, he would not have lured the wolf into the house. "This is my house. What do you want to do here?" Although Lu Mingliu tried his best to appear calm, his voice was full of sternness. "Are you panicking now?" Ling Chu sneered in his heart. He had known this. Why did he do it in the first place? "Don't you want evidence? Of course we are here to find evidence." Lu Mingliu was panicking, but he quickly calmed down. All his things had been hidden, and these people couldn't even hope to find them. "I don't know what evidence you are looking for. I am Lu Qingliu, and I am innocent. If you don't believe me, you can go into the house and search." Ling Chu suddenly smiled brightly and was waiting for the sentence, "Okay, that's what I meant." As soon as Prince Jing heard that the house was to be searched, he immediately rolled up his sleeves and said, "Miss Ling, where are you going to search? Don't be in a hurry, let me do the calculation first." Ji Shanchang and Zhang Fuze looked at each other and used hexagrams to find evidence. "This is strange." Lu Mingliu suddenly felt uneasy, but he had already said something, so it would be wrong to regret it right after he said it. Ling Chu took out 3 copper coins and started to make divinations with a serious expression. Secretly, the system was opened for scanning. She is weak, so she doesn't actually make a fortune, she's just pretending. It takes a lot of energy to make a hexagram, and if she can use the system to scan it, she will naturally not be so stupid that she can't get into trouble with her own body. Seeing Ling Chu put away the copper coins, Prince Jing couldn't wait to ask, "Has it been calculated?" Ling Chu nodded, stretched out his hand and pointed to the right wing. "According to the hexagram, it's over there." Lu Mingliu saw Prince Jing and rushed towards the right wing impatiently. An uneasiness flashed through my heart, and I wanted to stop it instinctively, but in the public view, I was afraid of arousing others' suspicion. I can only hold back the uneasiness in my heart. Seeing Prince Jing and Ling Chu walking towards the wing, Chief Ji Shan and others followed them. Push open the door of the side room, and the inner room can be seen at a glance. This is a small study room with a chair and a desk in the middle. The four treasures of the study are placed on the table, and there is a small bookshelf against the wall, which is filled with books. Seeing Ling Chu's eyes fixed on a landscape painting on the wall, Prince Jing rushed over excitedly. "Miss Ling, is the evidence hidden behind this painting?" Before he finished speaking, Prince Jing could not wait to take down the painting. "Hey, why is there no hidden grid? The new book list is rank 73, and I don't know when it will be ranked among 50. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I made a fortune by raiding houses in ancient times." Author, Half-Life Calligraphy. Chapter 79. Prince Jing saw that Ling Chu had been staring at the painting, and thought that there was a hidden grid on the wall behind the painting, and the evidence was hidden in the hidden grid. Unexpectedly, after the painting was taken down, there was no hidden grid on the wall. Prince Jing looked at the wall with confusion. The students who came to watch the excitement also looked disappointed. Lu Mingliu originally felt nervous when he saw Prince Jing heading towards the painting, but now he secretly breathed a sigh of relief. However, before he could take a breath, he saw Ling Chu raising his feet and walking towards Prince Jing. Lu Mingliu's heart suddenly jumped up again. He wanted to step forward to stop her, but he was worried that if Miss Ling didn't notice anything unusual, if he stepped forward to stop her, it might arouse her suspicion. Seeing Prince Jing still not giving up, he was groping on the wall to see if there was any mechanism or the like that could open the secret grid. Ling Chu's mouth twitched. "Stop looking for it, there is no hidden compartment on the wall." Prince Jing looked disappointed. "How come there isn't? It shouldn't be." Ling Chu weakly held his forehead and said, "Give me the painting." Prince Jing was stunned at first, and then his eyes lit up. "Is there evidence hidden in the painting?" Prince Jing couldn't help but raise the painting in his hand to his eyes, looked at it up and down, and found that it was just an ordinary landscape painting. A thin sheet, clear at a glance. Prince Jing was confused. This painting couldn't hide anything. Seeing Ling Chu reaching out to take the painting, Lu Mingliu's fists under his sleeves suddenly clenched. "Miss Ling, what's wrong with this painting?" Ling Chu ignored Prince Jing, picked up the scroll and looked at it twice. Holding the shaft in his left hand, he reached out to the end of the shaft with his right hand and twisted it a few times before pulling out the head of the shaft. He put his fingers into the shaft and quickly pulled out a roll of paper. Prince Jing slapped his forehead. Why didn't he expect that the shaft was hollow? "What is this, evidence?" Prince Jing looked expectantly when he saw the scroll Ling Chu took out. Ling Chu glanced at him and simply handed him the roll of paper in his hand. Prince Jing reached out to take it and couldn't wait to unroll the paper. "Why is it a banknote?" The students who came to watch the excitement also looked disappointed. Lu Mingliu walked over in a few steps, with anger on his face. "Miss Ling, you don't think you can slander me as a fake with just a few banknotes, do you?" Ling Chu said quietly. "What's the rush?" In Lu Mingliu's anger, Ling Chu slowly stuffed the stopper of the scroll in his hand, then turned the scroll upside down, and then opened the stopper of the lower scroll. "Pull out a roll of paper from inside." Prince Jing took it and opened it and found several more banknotes. Lu Mingliu said with a cold face, "I told you that I am innocent. Did you come to my house just to search for my banknotes?" Prince Jing looked at him sideways and said disdainfully, "Don't worry, it's just more than 200 taels of silver. Even if you give it to me, I won't even look down on it." Lu Mingliu was angry in his heart. Prince Jing's family was rich and wealthy. Prince Jing didn't see the silver note, but he had worked hard to get it. Ling Chu handed the scroll to Prince Jing, motioned for him to hang it back on the wall, and then walked to the bookshelf. Lu Mingliu's eyelids twitched again when he saw her staring at the bookshelf. Ling Chu ignored him and raised his hand to the top of the bookshelf. Prince Jing just happened to walk over and said immediately, "Miss Ling, I'm coming." Ling Chu made way for him to take down the fifth travel book from the left in the top row. After Prince Jing got the travel notes, he saw that the book was covered with dust, so he shook his hands. Unexpectedly, several banknotes were wiped out from the book. Prince Jing was stunned for a moment, then he bent down to pick it up and curled his lips. Why is it another banknote? The people present couldn't help but look askance at the fact that there were more than 800 taels of silver notes included in this travel note. Lu Mingliu's face was gloomy, but now he was not nervous anymore. So what if the banknotes he hid were found? Can the banknotes still convict him? Miss Ling, you are so good, why are you searching for my banknotes? I am studying in Kyoto, and these are the expenses my parents paid for me to study. Ji Shanchang and Master Zhang also looked at Ling Chu with puzzled faces, wondering why she wanted to search out other people's banknotes. Ling Chu stared at Lu Mingliu with dark eyes. Are these banknotes really given by your parents? Lu Mingliu felt chilled by her gaze, but he still said bravely, yes, it was indeed given to me by my parents. Ling Chu glanced at him quietly and said nothing, but turned around and squatted in front of the bookshelf. The lower part of the bookshelf is a cabinet. Ling Chu opened the cabinet door and took out the books inside. Lu Mingliu was so nervous that his palms began to sweat. His heart was pounding. He stepped forward with a dark face and said, there are only a few books in this cabinet, but there are no banknotes. Prince Jing saw that he wanted to step forward to stop him, so he immediately blocked him. Since you don't have any banknotes, why are you so nervous? Chief Ji Shan and the others looked at Lu Mingliu in confusion. Even if he had the banknote, there was no need to be nervous. Not to mention that Prince Jing looked down on his little family wealth, and Miss Ling didn't look like someone who was greedy for money. Lu Mingliu saw everyone looking at him in confusion, and secretly thought that his reaction made them suspicious. Prince Jing, please lend me your dagger. While they were talking, Ling Chu had already emptied the cabinet of books. Prince Jing was surprised. How did she know he had a dagger? But this is not the time to ask this. Prince Jing took out the dagger from his body, but did not give it to Ling Chu. Do you want to open the cabinet? I will help you open it. Seeing that he was eager to try, Ling Chu didn't try to fight with him. He got out of the way, pointed at the bottom of the cabinet and said, pry this place open. Lu Mingliu clenched his fists. Seeing that no one was paying attention to him, he immediately walked out without leaving a trace. He had only taken 2 steps when Ling Chu's half-smiling voice came from behind, Lu Mingliu, where are you going? Seeing Chief Ji Shan, they all turned their heads and looked at him with frowns. Lu Mingliu was angry in his heart, but he could only say innocently, I'm just a master of the field. There are so many classmates here, and I plan to boil water and make tea. Prince Jing was disdainful, thinking they were stupid. It was obvious that there was something shady hidden in the cabinet. Seeing that the matter was about to be exposed, he wanted to take the opportunity to escape. This study is not big, and the guards of Prince Jing are all in the courtyard. Prince Jing raised his voice and said to them, leave this person to my care. With the guards around, there was no need to worry about Lu Mingliu escaping. Prince Jing guessed that there might be evidence hidden in the cabinet, so he couldn't help but get excited and pried open the mezzanine of the cabinet. What is this? Everyone looked confused again when they saw the small book hidden in the mezzanine. Prince Jing took out the book and opened it, and found that it was just an account book. But Lu Mingliu's face turned pale when he saw the account book. Thanks to book friends Amon 76 and 160221101311934 for their monthly votes. Thanks for the recommendation votes from book friends such as Happy Reading, 20230601621658, Heartbeat on the Left, China Fuse, Eternal Love, Kitang, Mimi Yang 98, Pros. BA, Coach Sheep, Misty Rain, and MJ. I made a fortune by raiding houses in ancient times. Author, Half-Life Calligraphy. Chapter 80. Prince Jing was surprised when he saw what was recorded in the account book. This is the first time in his life that he has seen people making money by selling poems, songs, essays, and learning experience. In addition, there are some records of the sale of embroidery. Prince Jing frowned, wondering why Ling Chu searched for such an account book. Although what Lu Mingliu sold surprised him, it could not convict him. Ling Chu ignored his doubts and took the account book and handed it directly to Lu Chengliu, who was standing aside. Lu Chengliu lowered his head and saw the records on the account book. With an angry look on his face, Lu Mingliu, not only did you take over my identity, but you also sold all my things. He really didn't expect that Lu Mingliu would sell some of the poems, and article interpretations he usually wrote to the children of the aristocratic family in exchange for money. As for those embroideries, they were embroidered by his fiancée Yu Xiaoyu, but he didn't expect them to be sold by him as well. What I sell is my own, how can I say it's yours? Lu Mingliu has no fear. As long as he grits his teeth and refuses to admit it, who can prove that the things he sells belong to Lu Chengliu, and there is nothing written on them? Name. Ji Shanchang and Master Zhang frowned when they saw the records in the account book. None of them expected that these schoolwork items would be sold by Lu Mingliu for money. Although Lu Mingliu's identity has not yet been confirmed, at this moment, the two people's impression of him was greatly reduced. Boom! Several people who were looking at the account books were suddenly startled by a loud noise. Everyone turned around and saw that Ling Chu was standing in the corner of the study. He took out a hammer from nowhere and smashed a big hole in the wall of the study. Lu Mingliu's face changed drastically when he saw the wall being smashed, and he rushed over to stop it as soon as he raised his feet. Miss Ling, you went too far. How could you tear down the walls? I rented this house, and now it's been damaged by you. You have to pay compensation to the landlord. When Ling Chu saw him rushing over to push her, he dodged, raised his foot, and kicked her. Lu Mingliu was kicked back a few steps. Prince Jing quickly stepped forward and found a box hidden in the wall. I immediately became excited. This thing was hidden so secretly. It must be the evidence of the crime that Miss Ling said. Ling Chu originally wanted to smash the wall bigger, but Prince Jing thought she was slow, so he grabbed the hammer, banged it 3 times, and quickly took out the box. Hey, is this a road guide? Opening it in 2s and 2s, Prince Jing sneered, you are indeed Lu Mingliu. Lu Mingliu swayed, knowing that everything was over. Ji Shanchang took the road guide and saw the 3 characters Lu Mingliu on the road guide at a glance. In addition to name, identity, age, place of origin and physical characteristics. Prince Jing saw a sign on the road sign saying that there was a crescent-shaped bright red birthmark on his right shoulder, and immediately called the guards to take Lu Mingliu to the side room for a physical examination. Lu Mingliu instinctively wanted to struggle, but he was no match for the guards who were highly skilled in martial arts. Tearing off his school uniforms in 2s and 2s, Chief Gashan and the others saw that he indeed had a red crescent birthmark on his right shoulder. In order to prove his innocence, Lu Chengliu took off his clothes in front of the mountain chief and his master. Lu Chengliu's body was smooth and there were no birthmarks. The way Chief Ji Shan and others looked at Lu Mingliu suddenly changed. I didn't expect that this person's identity was indeed fake. When they came out of the side room, Ling Chu handed the remaining items in the box to Chief Ji Shan. In addition to Lu Yin, there are also several letters from home and several books that Lu Mingliu had read before. The books contain his explanations and notes. Master Zhang could tell at a glance that the explanation written on it was Lu Mingliu's handwriting. The facts are clear at a glance. Lu Mingliu glared at Ling Chu and Lu Chengliu bitterly, these things are not mine. You must have conspired to steal my identity. You forged these things and hid them in the wall to frame me. How would you know there was something hidden in the wall if that were not the case? Some students who were watching the excitement saw Lu Mingliu yelling angrily, and they couldn't help but look at Ling Chu suspiciously. Whether it was the banknotes hidden in the scroll, the account books on the mezzanine of the cabinet, or the road signs in the wall, Miss Ling could find them all accurately. If she hadn't hidden them in advance, how could she know so clearly? I didn't expect that I would deny it when the matter came to pass. Ling Chu sneered, "Are you blind and didn't see that I relied on hexagrams to calculate? Although you have a face like Lu Chengliu and are trying your best to imitate his handwriting, the fake ones are just fake. There is also your information on the road guide. Your home is in a small town under the jurisdiction of Dongyang Prefecture. Although it is not close to Kyoto, if you hurry up for more than 10 days, it will be enough to make a round trip." Lu Mingliu pursed his lips tightly. He knew what Ling Chu meant. If he refused to admit it, he would send someone to his hometown to verify his identity. This way, he can no longer deny it. Academy is a place for teaching and educating people, preaching, teaching and solving doubts. Naturally, it will not tolerate people with bad morals. Ge Shanchang immediately announced that Lu Mingliu would be expelled from Changfeng Academy and Lu Chengliu's identity would be restored. When Lu Chengliu heard that the mountain chief had restored his identity, he bowed to Ling Chu with red eyes. "Thank you so much, girl, your kindness will be unforgettable." Lu Chengliu originally wanted to say something grateful, but at this moment he was choked with tears. If it weren't for this Miss Ling, he doesn't know how long it would take to restore his identity. Lu Mingliu on the side had a dark face, picked up his road guide and banknotes and wanted to leave. Ling Chu stopped him. "You can't take these banknotes away." Lu Mingliu glared at her resentfully. "Don't go too far. You have ruined my future. I have nothing now, why can't I take the banknote?" Ling Chu sneered. "You were kicked out of Changfeng Academy entirely for your own fault, but no one forced you to murder Lu Chengliu, or even take his identity. Also, don't you know where those banknotes came from?" When Lu Mingliu saw the account book, he regretted why he had to write down these accounts. He didn't want to sell those things originally. Although his talent for imitation is not bad, his schoolwork and calligraphy cannot be accomplished by imitation. After assuming Lu Chengliu's identity, he pretended to be frightened and fell off his horse and injured his head and hands, but after all, the injuries could not be faked forever. In order to make up for the academic gap between him and Lu Chengliu, he spent a lot of time on homework every day and had no time to think about ways to make money. Although he found more than 200 taels of silver left by Lu Chengliu, in addition to food, clothing, housing, and transportation, he also had social activities with classmates, plus pens, inks, paper and inkstones all cost money, so he couldn't just sit back and have nothing. By chance, he learned that some children from aristocratic families with poor academic performance would pay students with excellent academic performance to help them complete the homework assigned by the master. So he came up with a plan to select suitable poems, songs, and article interpretations written by Lu Chengliu in peacetime, and sell them to the children of the aristocratic families in exchange for money. Prince Jing didn't care what Lu Mingliu thought. He grabbed the banknote and handed it to Lu Chengliu, who was standing aside. Even though he was angry, Lu Mingliu did not dare to do anything to Prince Jing. "I could only endure the anger in my heart, take the road guide and leave." But just as he lifted his feet, Ling Chu's cool voice came from behind again. "Wait a minute, you can't leave yet. Kek, the list keeps falling, keeps falling. Dear book friends, can you give me a little more support? Please ha.